wrecked him, darn near killed him. Oh, hello, and thank you for joining us once again for this, not the Drunk Doctor Who podcast. This is the Heroes and Villains.
Drunk Doctor Who, Heroes and Villains.
Comma, parentheses,
dash,
colon, semicolon,
Alright, so
brackets.
This is what we do when we want to watch something else besides the main line, and or we don't want to drink. So, and I have been sick the last week.
What are we drinking today, Header?
With a bad bug. I'm drinking water.
Me too.
No, you're drinking Jack and Coke.
With frozen bits of water.
But I was sicker than a dog. I'm a bad bug, so...
You ever watch Parks and Recreation?
No.
There's this real libertarian character, and he's just a man's man.
Mm-hmm.
And he's sitting there, and he never gets sick, but he's sick this one day, and he has like a glass of Jack Daniels. They're like, "You're sick, you gotta be drinking liquids." He's like, "I am." They're like, "No, water." And he said, "Well, normally I like it neat, but in the option of health," and then he puts an ice cube in.
But I was sicker than a dog and out for days and sleeping 16 hours a night. So.
Again.
Well, the first one was the vaccine.
Yeah.
The second shot vaccine, and this one was
so
a bad bug with also. So, I finished the antibiotics yesterday. I'm drinking water today and tomorrow, and I'll probably start drinking Wednesday or Thursday.
Mm-hmm. I hear it's the second shot that really does you. That's what I hear.
Especially if you've already had it.
Ooh, even worse.
Because I had the COVID, so it just hit me big.
And then your immune system was taking a nap, and then you got sick again. Had quit that.
I'm usually not sick. Yeah.
You need to stay indoors.
No, outdoors.
With a Perka sweater on. And...
No, sunlight. It's good for you. Sunlight's the great disinfectant.
Huh?
And if you can't get sunlight to it, use bleach. But if you can, sunlight, bleach. So
I bleached my mind.
Alright, so we're talking about Ben and Polly.
Ben and Polly.
Yeah, they're sort of a pair together, like Ian and Barbara.
Should we just do one episode for the both of them?
Nah, we do this separate just in case.
Okay.
Yeah. And just they come in together with the War Machines.
Wotan?
Yeah, Wotan, the War Machines. And that is the...
one of my favorite villains. I don't know why.
That is the end of the third season.
I think most villains are one of my favorite villains.
Oh, there you go.
I applaud that.
And they leave, let's see, pretty much towards the end of the fourth season. So they're only there for one season.
So how many episodes is it?
6, 10, 18, 22, 28, 36, 40. So they're there for 40 episodes.
Ben and Polly for 40 episodes. We counted them.
Yeah, 40 episodes. Alright. Because back then they usually keep the companions for 1 year.
Yes.
And your contract's up, you're out of there. We'll figure out a way to get rid of you. Whether we just slough you off on somebody, or you have to stay to help with the peace, or you fall in love with somebody, or whatever.
Not many companions make it back to their own timeline, which is...
in their own place, but Ben and Polly do.
Yeah, they're one of the happy endings.
Yeah.
Most of them are kind of dark.
Yeah. Now, oddly enough, one of the reasons we didn't watch the regular stuff was because we're playing catch up on the animated stuff. And tonight we watched the Faceless ones.
It's just so perfectly lined up.
Because that's the last serial with Ben and Polly. That's where they say their goodbyes in episode 6.
Still feels rushed. They're like, by the way, I guess we should stay now that we're back.
On the exact day that we left.
Yeah. It's convenient.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you traveled for a couple of years and go back to the day you left, wouldn't you?
Yeah, absolutely. Their adventures are terrifying.
Yeah, exactly.
Every episode they almost died 2-3 times.
Alright, so currently the only thing we have left for cleanup is Fury from the Deep.
Fury from the Deep.
Fury.
And we'll be all caught up on animations that have been released
thus
far.
Right. We'll have done all the cleanup for the animations, and we'll have seen every single animated episode thus far. For the animating the stuff that was lost. There is some Doctor Who animated stuff later, but it was done as animated.
Yeah. What? Yeah.
All right. The 10th Doctor. The 10th Doctor was a couple of animated serials.
The 10th Doctor.
Yeah.
But they came out animated.
Animated, yeah.
Like, what was that movie we watched with Princess Bride? They take drugs and everything's animated.
Oh, no, you're talking about Congress.
Congress. Yeah, like the Congress.
Yeah.
It was animated intentionally. Right?
Correct.
It wasn't filmed live action.
Right. And there's one other serial from the 4th Doctor that they complete with the animation, because it was halfway through filming when a strike happened and it was never completed, and they went back like 30 years later and actually completed it with animation.
Oh.
Because
never before seen on television.
Right, but then it was given an airing on Canadian television, so it actually has an air date. Yeah.
That's one of the nice things about Doctor Who is mostly self-contained adventures from serial to serial. So if you miss one or one gets canceled, it's not going to make a whole bunch of plot holes in the story.
True, although
continuity of it.
In the old stuff, there was continuity because it was more serialized. So you go, well, who's this guy they picked up? Well, where'd this guy come from? But yeah, you can jump in and watch a straight serial without having to worry as long as you don't ask too many questions.
It's just an adventure in itself.
Right. It's kind of like watching one of the Avengers movies without having seen all the lead-up movies.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like I watched Infinity War? No, it was Avengers 2. Who's that?
Age of Ultron?
I guess so. It's like, who's that guy?
Because...
Oh, well, this guy was in Captain America 2. And who's that guy? Well, he was in Iron Man 3. And who's this guy?
Avengers 2 Age of Ultron was especially frustrating because they made a television series that introduced these other superheroes, and then they threw them in the movie all of a sudden, even though they hadn't been... So you could have watched every movie, but not that TV show they came out with, and then watch the next movie and be like, who are these characters? That's where they introduced Wanda and the Quicksilver guy. Except they couldn't call him Quicksilver, because Quicksilver, his character was still owned by the people that own X-Men.
Okay. So what was he called?
They didn't call it. They just gave him a name. They couldn't use his Quicksilver. It implied who he was with Quicksilver, but they couldn't call him that.
All right, Fred. You do all this superhero stuff, and your name's Fred.
He was Marvel's version of the Flash.
Yeah. Quicksilver's a good name, though.
Yeah.
All right. So Ben, and we'll do Polly here in a minute. But
military-minded Ben.
Right, military-minded Ben.
Navy man Ben.
Right, and it's funny because we've actually been watching some of the animated serials with him.
Yeah.
And so it reminds us about his character and about how sort of suggestive,
prone to
suggestion he was, and the military mind and all that. But yeah, Sailor gets involved in the war game? No. Not the war games. The war machines.
Yeah. The Macra.
Yeah, with the Macra, he kind of goes all militaristic and stuff. And
sleeper agent.
Yeah. Oh, that's bad, but literally, yeah. He...
Did you say the pun was bad?
Yeah, the pun was horrible. Anyway, yeah, he's very much the muscle. He was put on to replace Steven.
But they had...
as the muscle.
Jamie also as the muscle.
Well, Jamie came along later. We haven't done Jamie yet. We can do the second Doctor and Jamie.
So we had two muscles.
Well, yeah, and in fact, Jamie was a last-minute decision to throw him in the TARDIS because he liked his character. He originally was not going to be a companion.
He was a crowd favorite.
Right, but he was such a crowd favorite they decided to keep him, and he's the companion with the most episodes, period.
Even though... Well, we'll talk about him later.
Yeah. But yeah, Jamie comes along in like the fourth serial,
Krakatoa.
Right. He comes along about 3-4 serials later, and they're trying to figure out how to put him in with the group and how to make him work. And they eventually divide Ben's original stuff amongst him and Jamie for a while.
He suffers from that. I'm from the past and I don't know what any technology is.
Oh yeah, it's a flying beastie.
What's this photo booth?
Yeah. So well, that's funny, but he's a lot better than Katarina would have been as a handmaiden from 2000 BC or something.
Zeus.
Zeus, it's magic. It's a yo-yo. It's magic.
Yo-yos are magic, though.
Yeah. All right.
Can't convince me otherwise.
But anyway, Ben is very much brute force, and that's fine. You need the strong guy. Mm-hmm. He's smarter than like Jamie, but say not as smart as Steven or Ian were.
Agreed.
Yeah. But yeah, because the Doctor's still kind of old, although. Well, when Ben comes on, you still the first Doctor. And he's very old, and Ben needs to be the muscle.
Trouton's a lot more spry.
Trouton's a lot more spry, but still much older, and you still need muscle, and that falls to Ben, and later on Jamie.
But the Doctor is very much more a brains over bronze kind of character.
Generally speaking, yeah.
So you need a bronze character.
Okay, last night I rewatched The End of Time, parts 1 and 2. One of my favorite, 10th Doctor. 10th Doctor. And there's this fantastic scene. Wilfred is trying to give him a gun, and the Doctor doesn't use guns. Okay?
Except when he does.
No, but he never uses guns, right? And Wilfred's like, take the gun. He's like, no, take the gun. No. He's like, never. Okay. And then the announcement comes on, and the Time Lords are coming back. And the Doctor grabs the gun. And you're like, oh crap, this is serious. The guy who just said, no, I will never use a gun, grabs the gun. And it's like, okay. Anyway, great couple episodes.
That sounds great.
We'll get there eventually.
He's totally used a gun before, though.
He does occasionally. He does occasionally, but not very often. The Doctor does occasionally get violent, but certain incarnations of the Doctor are more violent than others. The 5th Doctor is very pacifistic. The 1st Doctor, remember when he beats that guy with a cane in the Romans?
And then he tosses someone out the window in his hotel room when he's as the musician.
Yeah,
that's
once again, the Romans. Most of the Doctor. Okay, the 3rd Doctor knows Venusian food, very violent. Yeah, we were already there.
Although he starts off very pacifistic because he's just constantly butting heads with.
Well, he doesn't like the military mind. He doesn't like the military mind.
Which is strange how well he gets along with Ben, right?
Yeah.
Ben is the military mind.
Right, but Ben listens to him. And the Brigadier takes a long time for the Brigadier really starts to listen to him.
So the Doctor doesn't mind the military mind so much as long as he's in control. Which
actually, yeah. When he's at the top of the food chain, when he's president of the world, he doesn't mind it so much.
Not so much. Which is another look into the.
And the 12th Doctor actually becomes president of the world.
Of the world.
First,
is he the Guardian of the Galaxy?
Yeah, something. Yeah. No, Guardian of the Solar System.
Solar System. Yeah.
All right. Let's see.
Chin.
Yeah. Chin. Okay. What else do you have to say about Ben?
Gosh, I was gonna say something.
They were there for the War Machines, the Smugglers, the 10th Planet, Power of the Daleks, the Highlanders, which is where we pick up Jamie, Underwater Menace, Moonbase, Macroterra, and Faceless Ones where they leave.
Do you think he made his ship because right when he was picked up by the Doctor, he was about to ship out in the Navy, and then he made it back the same day?
Yeah, so he can make it to a ship. I think he was supposed to ship out the next day or something.
So he actually
makes it back to a ship.
Back on Earth in the same timeline that his old self was still on Earth. Do companions ever run into themselves like previous timelines?
Yes, you're not supposed to. It causes problems, but yes.
There's a line in is an animated like family movie, but it made me laugh because it's a dirty joke. It's Sherman, Mr. Peabody, and Sherman and Mr. Peabody. Anyway, there's this whole subplot of like time travel, and there's like the past him and the future him, and they can't touch each other or they'll cause some timeline implosion. And then I'm trying to remember. They touch each other and they're like stuck, and he goes, he's touching himself, and the old lady goes,
No, a lot of good movies or TV shows will have jokes for the kids and for the adults, you know.
Mm-hmm.
No, the Ninth Doctor actually has an episode like that. The one in the Dead Center has an episode like that where it kind of stacks on each other, where they kind of bump into themselves like that.
Ben could have bumped into himself.
No, except that was the day they left.
Right.
So they'd already left, so now they're back to go forward.
Well, it was the same day, so I mean, like at the beginning of the day and the beginning of the day.
You saw how much happened in those 6 episodes? It was late in the day.
Well, when they first got there, I mean.
In theory, except
they were both existing within the same day.
Somewhere.
Separate. Yeah.
I'll just. Have you seen Southland Tales?
No. Is that a movie?
Yes. Put it on the list. Oh, we almost watched Little Shop of Horrors tonight.
Almost.
Yeah. Except my wife doesn't like it. Because she didn't like the ending.
Dark.
Yeah.
You know, I probably won't like the ending either.
You probably won't, but that's, you know.
Why can't things have happy endings?
Anyway, in Southland Tales...
That's the whole point of things that aren't real.
In Southland Tales, there's a whole thing where 2 souls, the same soul, can't occupy the same space. So when 2 identical souls touch, it changes everything. And that happens in the movie.
Spiritual thing?
Well, no, it's the actual same guy.
What was it called?
Southland Tales.
Okay.
Cool. Alright, now unlike most Doctor Who companions, who I think actually do a little bit of growth while they're with the Doctor, I don't think Ben ever does.
Very much stays the same.
Yeah, he stays pretty much the same. He may learn a little bit.
He might become a bit of a more of a free thinker.
Slightly. But there's not a whole lot of growth.
Not really. Also, he wasn't. Was he on vacation? Because he wasn't hardly in this animated serial we watched. He was like in 2 episodes, the first and the last episode.
Ben and Polly are in episodes 1, 2, and 6. So they're not there for 3, 4, and 5.
They're on vacation.
I think their contracts were up. They filmed 1, 2, and their final scenes,
that makes
and
sense.
then they were done, and then all the rest were filmed.
That's too bad.
Yeah. And unlike some companions, we never see them again.
Never again.
Never again.
Never again. Well, I hope he made it his ship, his flight, his departure.
There you go.
Because he was really worried about being AWOL.
Yeah.
And the doctor was like, "You're on another planet. We have Daleks to worry about.
Let's see.
Cybermen to worry about."
Cybermen. Well, no, he was trying to find the TARDIS. All right. Any questions or comments about Ben?
No, I don't think so. What was your favorite episode with Ben?
Oh, that's a good question.
The War Machines was mine.
Favorite serial? War Machines is good.
Yeah. I like Wotan. I like that he is introduced, just perfectly in this cluster of a serial. There's like just chaos and machines trying to take over the world, and we have the Brigadier and the military and unit.
No,
and we have this
Brigadier's not there.
Is unit there? Or is it just the military?
Military.
It's just the military.
Usually it's not around
The
yet.
military shows up. We have this Navy man. It reminds you like, you have Ben and Polly in the bar.
Alright. Either the 10th planet, because the first Cybermen, the first regeneration, and it's a really interesting story. Possibly the Power of the Daleks.
But which one's your favorite side of Ben? Like favorite Ben cereal? Not just the favorite cereal that he's in.
The one where I think Ben is the best?
Yeah. The War Machines, right?
Possibly. Or maybe the Power of the Daleks. I have to double check.
That's good too.
Yeah, because that's before Ben still has a lot to do, and that's before Jamie comes along. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. I mean, the problem is they're there for 40 episodes, but only there for like 7 serials.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's longer than a lot of the characters, you know.
Where would you have liked to seen his character growth? I would have liked to see him become like more of a free-thinking, kind of independent person who makes decisions by himself. We kind of see that side of Jamie too, where he's like, I gotta do what the doctor tells me to.
True.
And then his sweetheart, what was her name?
No, not
the Bonnie lass. They kiss twice.
Well, the first one was him trying to steal her plane ticket.
He liked it.
And the second one was her kissing back. Yeah. Goodbye. And kind of a thank you.
Anyway, she's calling him out on, I must do what the doctor tells me. He's like, well, yes.
Yeah, Jamie's still better. All right. Okay. And that's what we think of Ben. Wow.
You heard it here first. Comment below your favorite Ben moment.
We won't talk too much about the Faceless Ones animation because we'll talk about that when we do the regular show.
Oh, okay.
Next week.
Yeah.
We'll keep that for next week.
Stay tuned for Polly.
Stay tuned for Polly.
I probably don't have much more
short.
to say.
But she gets her
Little
own
short
episode.
podcast.
Dang, now that's... All right. Mark up Polly, episode 14.
Alrighty. Thank you for joining us.
See you next week.
See you.
All right, see you in a moment.
See you next click. Mouse click. Outro.